right, everybody. Joey Nohana back again. It has been a while, actually. We haven't done anything since the G1 Climax, which ended. And if you haven't checked that out, please check it out, because there was a lot of fucking wrestling that me and Anthony Caruso watched. By the way, I have Anthony Caruso here.
Yo.
And making his return from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, from Philadelphia. Standing at 6'5" 3/4.
Yes.
And weighing well over 250 pounds. I don't want to sell you. I don't want to say 300.
I'm actually like 290 right now.
Whoa. All right. Well, good. I'm glad I didn't say 300 pounds. So 290 pounds of dark flesh and muscle is Tyson to Lewd, who hasn't joined us in fucking forever.
Forever, dude. It's been months, but it feels glad to be. I'm glad to be back in the booth. It feels good.
The last time we were together, I believe it was like a Monday Night Raw review, and it was like Alexa Bliss, and she was on the cover, and I don't remember what it was about. It was probably garbage, but
probably.
Since then, me and Anthony.
Monday Night Raw, of course, it was garbage.
Yeah,
we were talking about how much we hated the whole thing, and
yeah. Me and Anthony did the G1 Climax. That was a lot of fun, and we were supposed to do NXT, and I'm kind of mad we didn't do NXT, but NXT, I guess, real quick, before we get into the Mae Young Classic, NXT TakeOver was phenomenal.
Yeah.
It was a great show. Of course, Adam Cole, and who else was on that?
Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby
Red
Roode.
Dragon. Yeah.
And aside from that, we lost Bobby Roode to SmackDown, who I heard is doing absolutely nothing.
Yes, and
I heard he's a babyface.
And he may be getting his song changed because Vince McMahon doesn't like the fact that he's going to be a heel. If he's going to be a heel, then he'll have his song be over.
So what was the point?
Wow.
Yep.
That's literally his whole fucking character is that song.
That he has nothing left if you take that song away from him.
He's got a lot of unimpactful moves. That's it.
Actually, now that I bring that up, and of course, Asuka is going up to, I believe, Raw, which they're going to find a way to screw her up, just like they find a way to screw everybody up. I mean, what's the point? Why develop these people if you're just going to fuck them in the end?
No idea.
Whatever. But anyways, the only reason I'm mentioning this is because we're going to do the Mae Young Classic right now. But I just want to put out a disclaimer. I don't give a fuck about WWE's main product. I really just
I don't
do
watch
not.
anymore.
So if you are expecting a review of Raw and SmackDown, I don't give a shit anymore because it's useless.
But Joey, we're not going to talk about Roman and Cena.
No.
No.
Hey, if there's a good segment once every 6 months, I'll listen. I'll talk about it. But other than that, I don't give a fuck because, like we just mentioned, Bobby Roode gets called up. He's had the best heel in the entire company for the last year, or he hasn't been there a year, but the last couple of months. He gets called up to SmackDown. He's a babyface. Who the fuck does this? Who's running this company right now?
I don't know.
Like, why do they do these things? WWE's so fucking stupid that they ruined Bobby Roode, who's been around for a long time, and he's worked television. For God's sakes, the guy worked in TNA when they were a pile of dog shit, okay? And you ruin him slowly. They're going to ruin him. They're going to ruin Asuka. Why not? So my question is, why even develop these people? Why take them away from Triple H so he could see them sail into the fucking burning fire?
Because Vince McMahon wants everything. He likes skimming off the top.
Well, if there's anyone out there that listens to my voice and would like to let me know what's going on with Bobby Roode, then please let me know, because if they're going to turn him babyface, then what was the fucking point of any of this? So Triple H should just make NXT its own brand and fucking leave it at that, because this is useless. I mean, it's useless to develop people for just them to burn down to the ground.
It's a guy with a name that can maybe help move merch, and if they don't stick, then move on to the next guy. Yep.
Can't wait for him to mid-card out.
What a useless fucking company. Whatever, we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about the Mae Young Classic, and it's the first ever women's tournament in WWE, I believe.
So you'll hear it first. The women that'll be future jobbers in the WWE.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Can't wait for This Is Your Life, Kairi Sane.
Wow. I can't wait till next year when she's jobbing to Alexa Bliss.
And Kairi's standing there not knowing what the fuck to say because she doesn't understand a word of English, but whatever, that's...
I don't think it's that she doesn't understand a word of English. She probably doesn't speak it very well, or is very comfortable.
It was a joke. It was just a prank, dude.
Well, it was a very poor joke.
Yeah, it was.
Wasn't funny.
It was terrible. So we have the Mae Young Classic, and we've got the first round. So we had 4 episodes. They threw it at us right away, all 4 episodes. right off the bat. And the only thing I don't really like about this is the fact that I'm not a big fan of binge watching wrestling.
Yeah.
It's not my thing.
It feels very like Netflix-esque.
I mean, here's the thing, though. These were easy to get through to consume in a timely fashion because they were short. They got to the point. These girls didn't fuck around. They kind of did their business.
15-minute time limits on the matches.
Yeah, so it was just like the Stardom tournament, the Cinderella tournament. The same thing. All the matches were super short.
Yeah.
Other than that, these were very short matches and not much to go over. So we're going to look at the first round here. We have Princessa Suhei. Suhate. What a name. Princessa Suhate versus Kaylee Ray. So this match was great. Both women worked well together. Kaylee hit all of her big moves. A lot of good stuff. What didn't make sense, though, was the fact that Kaylee Ray was beating the fuck out of Princessa literally 90% of this match. And then when she goes up top to hit a swanton bomb, Princessa moves, locks her in a Fujiwara armbar, and then Kaylee Ray taps after being in it for 5 seconds. So that was that, and Princessa
Kaylee was a replacement, so there was no way she was winning this match. So
I was kind of surprised. I didn't know she was replacement, but I was surprised just because she seemed pretty over coming into it, and they hyped her up a lot. You know,
I loved Kaylee.
During the bracketology.
Listen,
and stuff.
all right. So the thing about this tournament is that it was clear that some of these women were developmental.
Yeah,
I mean, super developmental.
That's what, compared to the Cruiserweight Classic and compared to the UK tournament, there was a lot more green wrestlers in the show, and they could have taken the experienced girls and put them with all the green girls, but they didn't want to do that because they want to have some girls that get pushed at least into the second round that they want to highlight and maybe put on the show on NXT in the future.
Well, aside from like the Cruiserweight Classic, same deal where you have a lot of good workers and et cetera, going up against other good workers. Here you had pretty much Shimmer superstars and girls who have been all over the world, which is code for being in a ton of fucking companies, going up against people who are, it's like, we picked them literally out of developmental, and it's like, well, this is going to be a shit match.
Yeah.
Because it's developmental versus, 15 goddamn years of experience. But whatever. Speaking of experience versus not experience, Serena Deeb versus Vanessa Bourne. The only thing I can say here is that Vanessa Bourne is extremely attractive. Her and I believe the other one, I think it was the girl with the two first names. I can't remember.
Renee Michelle.
Renee Michelle, yes. She is extremely beautiful. And Vanessa Bourne is also very attractive. But other than that, not much to talk about with these women.
Vanessa Bourne, she was the Dominican chick, right?
No, it's Marty Bell.
Okay.
That's Marty Bell. So we have Serena Deeb, a extremely professional veteran here, going up against Vanessa Bourne, who I believe was once a cheerleader for the Arizona Cardinals or some shit like that.
Yeah, she was also a Phoenix Suns dancer.
Suns dancer, there you go. So she did some cheerleading. So if you ever want to get into the sport of professional wrestling, cheerleading is definitely the way to go. To get you ready for getting your ass kicked. So Vanessa Bourne comes out in gear that resembles lingerie. She has the whole pinup gimmick going on there.
Hey.
So we get some shoot wrestling early on because you got Serena Deeb in there. So Deeb tries to stretch the rookie. Vanessa then hits a headbutt that probably kills Deeb's chances of ever passing a concussion test. Crowd turns on Bourne when she starts treating Deeb like a young lion. So obviously the crowd was not very in favor of the green rookie. Two glaring spots where it was obvious that Bourne is new to this. First, her shoulders weren't completely down on a pinfall, and the ref called it. So it was not like the generic pinfall, and then it's like 1, 2, and then a kick out. It was like 1, oh, the shoulders are up. I better stop this fucking count. It's like, oh, Vanessa, your shoulders are up. And then she proceeds to kick out after her shoulders are already up. So she wants to make sure she's super out of it. And then Bourne still kicks out. Later on, Bourne hits a corkscrew neck breaker. Move looked good, but Deeb kicks out of that. Then Bourne proceeds to pin her with her vagina instead of holding her shoulders down like a normal person wrestling, but she just kind of laid on her and kind of rode her to get a pinfall. And Deeb just kind of moved her. So Deeb spears the fuck out of her and gets the win over the rookie here. So that was 2 glaring spots from Vanessa Bourne. It was very obvious. You know, one thing I would recommend, Vanessa Bourne, do not pin women with your vagina. It's not how you win matches. And 2, when you get kicked, when the ref says you've kicked out, you're out of it. Don't worry. It's fine.
Deeb brought one home for the Straight Edge Society. Very nice.
Yeah. By the way, her hair has grown exponentially larger than the last time I saw her.
Yes.
She does not look like Goldberg anymore.
Wow.
So, Shayna Baszler versus Zeta. That's it, just Zeta. And Zeta wants the code of honor. Or I believe Zeta, the one of 2 Chinese athletes in this tournament. Shayna Baszler, a fucking MMA athlete.
A lot of those in here. A lot of MMA chicks.
By the way, I do want to mention that it was funny because I was listening to all the backup that JR would bring up the background of all these girls, like Shayna and I believe Mercedes Martinez and maybe someone else that I'm missing here, but it was like pretty much the same background. She has an MMA background. And at one point towards the end of the final episode, I said, shit, everyone's got an MMA background.
It's like New Japan. Everybody has an MMA background.
Everyone has an MMA background, because if you don't, then you are out of touch, because MMA is the shit all of us, nowadays. So if you're not bringing a form of MMA into the wrestling ring...
Well, MMA has kind of been a big deal for a long time.
Oh, it's absolutely been
over
a big deal.
MMA's been a big deal.
It's such a big deal that now we have MMA athletes coming to wrestling because it's a lot easier than MMA.
Instead of the other way around.
Yeah, it's a lot better than getting your fucking face punched in. And just come over to wrestling where you don't get your face punched in, and you could do it a whole lot longer, and you could still do MMA shit. So without, breaking someone's fucking arm like, I don't know, Sexy Star.
Oh, man.
Which is fucking disgusting, by the way. So fuck her.
Yeah,
so
that was
that's
pretty
the end.
fucked
That's
up.
the end of that.
She probably won't be on season 4 of Lucha Underground.
Nope. I don't think she'll be in anyone's season anything for the rest of the time. Unless
WrestleCade already dropped her.
Unless Triple A is the only promotion that woman will ever wrestle in. So other than that, whatever. So we have Shayna Baszler versus Zeta. Zeta wants a code of honor, but Shayna declines because, once again, she is an MMA fighter. Doesn't give a fuck.
Well, Shayna's also a legit wrestler. She's been wrestling for a while, too, so.
And she's also a rough bitch, bro.
Yep.
Rough bitch. Match didn't last too long. Zeta tried to wrestle Shayna's style. Tried going for the right leg, but Shayna eventually goes on the offense, and Zeta would never fully get anything going after, the first takedown of a right leg. Shayna bullied her around. Zeta did a monkey flip. That's literally all she did. Shayna reverses a hanging guillotine choke into a suplex that she turned into a sleeper. And I will say that again. It was like a suplex, but she didn't finish the suplex. She kind of turned her midair,
dropped her,
and then put her in
like a cocaine. Yeah,
dropped her right on her fucking ass and put her in a sleeper. And that was it. Zeta taps because she knew if she didn't tap, she was gonna die.
I was upset about that. Zeta was pretty cute.
Yeah, but she's also in there against
Shayna
fucking Baszler. So I don't think her being cute. And Zeta's actually not a very attractive Chinese woman. Yeah. I would gladly respect her.
Yes.
Respect her all day long.
So we have a match that I personally got very angry about. Abby Lath versus Jazzy Gabbert. And the reason I will explain the reason why I was mad about this match. So, match started off hot because they did a spot in the beginning where Gabbert was asserting her dominance as a strong German woman. And then she wasn't selling much of the offense from Lath, but when Abby got pushed down, she got all fired up and yells back at her, and the crowd went nuts for this spot because it's like, yeah, Abby, you stand up to that fucking tank. Only problem is that they killed the momentum. They had a lot of momentum going in this matchup, and then they did something that you should never do when you have that much heat going on in a match. You don't tell Jazzy Gabbert to put a fucking sleeper hold on this woman twice in a row. That's the only thing I don't like about this stuff, is that when guys get fired up, they immediately have to kill it with a fucking
and why is the big girl using a rest hold?
Yeah,
when she should just use power moves to win.
That's the only thing I don't like about any of that stuff. When you feel that's the thing about WWE's wrestling, is that they have a formula, and it's like, well, we really got the crowd hooked here. And New Japan knows when to go to their finish, when to speed things up. That they know that's encoded in them. In WWE, it's like, well, you're gonna do this, this, and this, and that, and then that's gonna be the end of the match. And if it gets hot in the middle, just keep going with whatever you're doing. You don't put a fucking sleeper hold right after you get the crowd all fired up. That's not what you do. So Gabbert did a bunch of stuff, beat up on Lath, put her in a cool double wrist lock chokehold thingy. Lath got rocked with a loud forearm, and she had a faraway look. She was having Vietnam flashbacks after this forearm. Momentum swings back in favor of Lath. She had to swanton to only get to 2 count. Then Gabbert storms back with a lariat, starts a ground and pound, and then she should have gone for the pin, but instead Abby rolls her up with the alligator clutch and wins the fucking match. And here's the reason why I'm pissed about this. It's because Jazzy fucking Gabbert was awesome. A legit fucking attraction.
I really expected her
athlete.
to steamroll through a bunch of rounds.
So from what I've heard
here, Abby Lath has a name, so that's why. She got a WWE name.
She used to be Kimberly.
Yes, she had pretty much.
Jazzy Gabbert has a name. Alpha female?
That's a nickname.
Oh, yeah.
Abby Lathe has a legit like WWE name. So
I guess.
Yeah.
with the exception of one match, that pretty much held true through the entire tournament. If they were given a name,
Still, man, I think Jazzy was the most appealing.
she
wrestler in this
should
whole
have
tournament.
moved on. She shouldn't
Yeah.
have lost, but
She was a very dominant figure. I expected more out of her, but I mean, hey, it's Mae Young's finisher, so I mean,
You can't kick out of Mae
you
Young's
can't kick out of
finisher.
that shit at the Mae Young Classic.
they really should have set her and Shayna
Absolutely.
Baszler up to meet in the second round.
She did the deal, man. Like,
She hit her with the, you can't kick out of the alligator clutch. Oh god. Oh well. Anyways, I believe Jazzy Gabber was the best.
Way to ignore the point I just made, but that's cool. You guys do that all the time.
So we have episode 2. We have Zia Lee versus Mercedes Martinez, another green chick versus an MMA chick. So Martinez is being a bitch early on, does a kung fu pose.
Well, Martinez is a wrestler.
Martinez is a wrestler.
She's been like,
Isn't she a part of Ronda Rousey's little clique?
no,
Oh, I could have swore.
no, that's Jessamine Duke, Marina Shafir,
Oh,
Shayna
they're the four
Baszler,
horsewomen.
Shayna Baszler, and Ronda Rousey.
Well,
They're the four horsemen. Yeah, no.
Well, Mercedes is an actual
Mercedes,
wrestler,
Shayna Baszler, and Nicole Savoy are like a Shimmer clique, but no, Mercedes isn't part of.
I saw like a brief a glimpse of ffootage of her wearing a sideways snapback.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming that she was a part of some clique of MMA women.
No, Mercedes is a wrestler, and then yeah,
she's been in the game for like over 15 years,
yeah.
right?
I think
Wow.
she's
Yeah.
16 or whatever.
Something like
She
that.
was a big. I remember her way back in like 2010 in Shimmer. So I do remember that. So she starts off the match by doing the fucking pose here to totally be racist. You know,
I saw that and I was like, wow, that's
way
pretty
to
fun.
bury the talent. So she stretches Lee for a bit until Lee starts up a comeback with some shin kicks, does a bunch of cool shit because she likes to implement, martial arts with her wrestling. So some of the stuff was all right. Starts up a "We Will Rock You" chant, but she doesn't know that this is a "We Will Rock You" chant. She thinks it's her cool little gimmick, but realizes that she's in America and we have a different feeling about that chant or those little beats there. So Martinez cuts her off with a great spine buster, then locks her into a surfboard dragon sleeper, forcing Zia to tap out, because if she doesn't tap, she will die. So Zia Lee taps, and that is her, I believe, is either her or Zeta. No, I think this is her. Her first match ever.
It was Eileen's first match ever. Yeah.
Ever. Okay?
Really?
And she almost gets fucking destroyed and folded over by Mercedes
You
Martinez.
don't see a whole lot of Dragon Sleeper stuff in the dub anymore. Is that
No.
even like a legal? Like, did they?
Of course it is. It's not.
Yeah.
It's not dangerous.
It's probably just something that's not used.
It looks dangerous. I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of.
It's an awesome fucking.
Like, was
submission
the
move.
last time you saw a Dragon Sleeper suplex or something?
Oh,
like,
the
in the
G1.
dub? Oh
We
yeah,
saw a lot of
in the
those.
dub. Yeah, it doesn't happen.
No,
very
it
often
doesn't.
anymore.
Very rarely. So we have a match that I don't really want to talk about, but I guess we have to. Marty Bell versus Rachel Evers. God bless Marty Bell, really, but she fucking sucks. I mean,
This match was not
This
for
was-
experienced wrestlers. This match was not good.
Marty Bell
No.
was in a clique called the Dollhouse, along with Mia Yim and Taryn
You mean
Terrell.
Jade?
Oh, I'm sorry. Oops. Jade. Along with Taryn Terrell in TNA, and that was a pile of garbage. And Marty Bell, who talks about being Dominican and a strong Dominican woman, boy, she really showed how Dominicans wrestle here, because, boy, this was hot garbage.
Whoa, what are you talking about? I'll have you know, no way Jose's Dominican, and he's
also a
fantastic
shit wrestler.
I'm surprised Marty Bell didn't come out with a conga line.
She should have. This would have saved this fucking match. She's in there with Rachel Ellering and had a terrible match.
Which, by the way, why did they give her a different last name and then continue to harp on that she's Paul Elring's daughter?
Maybe because she hates her father. And they just have to make her a sort of an Ellering, but don't call her an Ellering.
But that's not part of her storyline. They make no mention of that.
I don't know.
Maybe
it's-
she's married to Jack Evers.
Who the fuck is Jack Evers?
I don't know, man. I just made that shit up on the spot. I'm just trying to rationalize.
I thought you were about to say Jack Evans. I'm like, really?
Well, the last time I heard Cassius's last name isn't Evers, so
Oh, that's right. She is.
Yeah.
She's boinking Cassius Ono.
No way! She's fucking Cassius Ono!
Yeah, dude, that's old news. Where have you been?
What have we been doing? We were right there
I
when it
don't
happened.
know. I don't like read her blog, so whatever. But yeah, so she's getting she's bouncing on those fucking thighs, bro. The Orlando Magic shit.
Yep. And he's giving her fucking elbows with his dick, I guess.
Oh man, that's awesome.
So the crowd here is clearly in favor of Rachel Evers. The only thing I could say about Marty Bell was that she tried to save this match by being a heel, sort of. I mean, her character was there. The being a total asshole and being a bitch thing was there. But everything else sucked ass.
Yeah, she was hot garbage.
And I believe I heard, I think on The Observer, I think Alvarez said this, or some insider said that Marty Bell was supposed to be victorious in this match, but because they saw that she sucked ass, they decided to give it to Rachel Evers, which I don't know why you wouldn't in the beginning.
By the way, speaking of Alvarez, did you notice the old people there? It was nice of Brian Alvarez's grandparents to show up.
Yeah.
Was his grandmother working, covering it live for the show later?
Yes, man. I guess. I have no idea. But, yeah, so the crowd is obviously in favor. They love Rachel, by the way. They always loved Rachel Ellering. It's never been a secret that Rachel Evers has been over with this crowd. Full Sail, very hard crowd to please, by the way. And another thing about the Full Sail crowd, can they have any more Bullet Club shirts? I mean, I get it. Guys,
it's everywhere now. It's everywhere now.
I fucking get it.
It's been everywhere, but...
I totally get that you guys are all indie smarks, and that's totally fine. But for God's sakes, I don't know, buy a Kairi Hojo shirt. Do something. Like
there was a dude in the front row with the Kaylee Ray shirt.
Who?
The Kaylee Ray shirt.
Oh, well, there was a dude with a pirate shirt with a Kairi Hojo shirt. So I was like, I'm glad this guy bought his We Are Stardom shirts from the website. So that's good for this guy. So Marty does a suplex near the ropes, and when she goes for the pin, she gets a 1 count, and then immediately gets up and looks at Rachel and goes, "Oh, it was so close." No, you weren't. It was a 1 count. No one's close. What a 1 count. So Marty beats her up, but it's totally unbelievable because Marty sucks at selling. Rachel gets back into it, beats her ass a bit. Then Rachel hits a weird-looking fisherman into a powerbomb thing, whatever the hell it was, because Marty, once again, sucks. Marty hits her version of the skull-crushing finale, more like just throwing the chick onto the mat with her face first into the fucking mat. Lita says she's finished off several of her opponents with that move. Not all of them, just several. Rachel pins her virtually out of nowhere, gets the pinfall. Marty Bell looks like a total dork because of this match, and that is it. She gets the boot right back to the Dominican Republic or whatever hotel she's staying at.
Right back to GFW.
Jesus Christ.
She took that fatty with her, unfortunately. Rest
What
in peace.
fatty? Give me a break.
Oh, come on.
Listen, my man. No fatty can save this chick. Bro.
Hey,
she was
I'm just
terrible.
saying, she had the cake, all right? That's all I'm saying.
Oh, that's good for her. She can have whatever dessert she wants, my man. This was still a shite match.
Yeah, no, you're right.
In a tournament that's supposed to showcase all these wonderful athletes, and you get Marty Bell, and I said to myself, Marty, TNA alum. You know,
you'd assume experience, but...
Oh, God. I mean, I don't know if it was this chemistry with Rachel Evers.
There was in a lot of matches, there was a lot of chemistry issues, and there was a lot of... I don't want to... I'm going to mention it. I might get a little heat for it, but, they're women, so they're not quite as strong as the men.
Wow.
There was a lot of attempted power moves that looked really weak.
Wow.
That's just biology, man.
The patriarchy hard at work today on the cast.
Yeah.
Are you saying that science will prove that men are 30% stronger than women on average? That's bullshit, sir. How dare you?
I'm sorry.
It's 2017.
You better check your privilege, sir.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. I mean, a lot of it did have to do a lot of chemistry though, and it was really apparent in a lot of matches. I mean, there was a lot of green girls in this match or on this show too.
I think it's not even the fact that women are just naturally not stronger than men, but it's just like when guys look shit in the ring, they could at least do a suplex, but when girls look awkward, like they look off. And it's not even a strength thing. It's just like guys could look like shit too, don't get me wrong. There are guys that are awkward as fuck. Yeah. But when women are just green, they feel like they're protecting themselves so much, and they're trying not to get hurt that it comes across as fucking awkward.
Yeah, and honestly, the strength difference shouldn't really matter just because it's women like wrestling other women. So it's not like
Well, I don't know about you, but Jazzy Gabbard ain't no woman.
But
That's
even
true.
still,
That's a
power moves
Terminator.
that looked awkward for them picking people up in certain matches.
I could see that.
And not only that, but with a suplex, suplex is a 2-man job or a 2-woman job in this situation because the person receiving must bounce off of your thighs, do a lot of things that go into taking a suplex. So some of them just sandbagged each other,
Yeah.
looked completely out of whack. I mean, Marty had no idea what Rachel was doing half the time.
Yeah.
And once again, like I said, this was two veterans in the ring.
Yeah.
And they stunk it up. And I mean, Rachel, I felt so bad for Rachel Evers, who has been doing pretty damn good up until this point. But Marty Bell, right back to the dollhouse, my friend, because this was shite. So we have Rhea Ripley, I believe, right?
Yes.
No relation to the guy that made Ripley's Believe It or Not, I believe. Versus Miranda Salinas. So Salinas, or no, actually Ripley in the promo package, but all the women had the little promo packages before their matches. Ripley calls herself a mosh kid. Says she loves going to the heavy metal shows and doing the Circle of Death. Whatever the fuck that is. I'm sorry, Rhea, but what the fuck is a Circle of Death? I know what a Wall of Death is. Okay.
I
know what a
circle
I know what a circle pit is.
Never
but,
heard of a Circle of Death. Must be the Bermuda Triangle she's speaking about.
Pretty sure it's a drinking game. You play with a beer
Yes,
and some cards.
it is. It is. Apparently, that's her favorite thing to do in the heavy metal mosh pits. So, some dude in the crowd did an Aussie chant, probably not even Australian.
By the way, we have enough tall Australian chicks on the roster. Just in
Nope,
case
need
anyone was
more.
wondering.
NXT or like Full Sail, like just like the Australian connection.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
TM61,
They should
Billy
just
Kay.
form a
Emma.
massive stable.
Emma
Peyton Royce.
Payton, yeah.
If Emma ever comes back down,
Please, they shouldn't, because there would be way too
Buddy
many
Murphy.
too many Outback Steakhouse jokes
Fucking
going on. So Ripley did an awesome drop kick in this match. There were a few spots where Salinas would start punching Ripley and then just stopped. Lita constantly kept telling her, "Stay on her, Miranda." Miranda did not stay on her half the time. And that's the thing about momentum in wrestling. People just think that you punch someone, and then it's like, well, it wasn't even like her as a human doing this. It was like her gimmick was one punch and then go, "Ha, gotcha." And Rhea's like 6 feet fucking tall, so she's not gonna sell it and be like, "Okay, is that the rest you could do?" But Lita was calling it and saying, "Keep on her, Miranda, or lose the fucking match," one of the two. So Ripley would fire it up, then kill her with a full Nelson slam. That was it. Rhea Ripley moves on, and the Aussie moves on to the next round here. So Miranda Salinas, I believe she was another chick from cheerleading school or some shit like that. Wasn't she trained by Booker T?
Yeah, she. I think she graduated from the reality of wrestling. Yeah.
Okay, so she did not do a Houston hangover in this match like she should have, but that's one of the best moves of all time. But did not happen here. So we have a wonderful match between Sarah Logan and Mia Yim, two pros.
Probably the second best match of the tournament.
Oh yeah, this was amazing because
This is what experience looks like.
you can't go wrong with Mia Yim and Sarah Logan. Now the only thing with Sarah Logan is that she's been strapped with this weird gimmick where she's just Southern built and all this bullshit.
She's country strong.
Country strong. I think she'd just be crazy Mary Dobson, because that was a way better gimmick. But nonetheless, here she is. And in her promo package, she mentioned that she would have to get up and kill her food. Here in 2017,
Yeah, I highly doubt that.
woke up at the crack ass of dawn to shoot a fucking turkey.
Right before, apparently, she did a whole bunch of pull-ups off of a fucking tree.
Hops in her F-150 and does a bunch of spins in her fucking backyard. Whatever, man. That's the thing about Sarah Logan's gimmick. She's a great wrestler. I mean, she's obviously wonderful in the ring, and she's made Peyton Royce look really good in the ring. But it's just her gimmick is just no one. Listen, if you are a super American, no one likes your gimmick anymore. Like, it's like, you're American? Well, fuck you, this country sucks. Like, that's pretty much the story.
And plus, she's super country, so they're going to assume she voted for Trump, so she's going to get all
Absolutely.
that
Absolutely.
backlash.
Unless they put you against, like, a foreigner of any kind, then, you get the USA chance going.
Yeah.
Is she the only one in the company with that really southern hickey gimmick, or somebody else?
Yeah.
Only one in the tournament. I mean,
No, the whole. I'm trying to relate her to another person with a really weird American gimmick.
The closest that's kind of relatable is like Braun Strowman or the Wyatts.
No,
but
Braun Strowman's not even close. He's just a dude who kills people.
yeah, Strowman doesn't have any real nationality associated.
Yeah, she's super American, and
Well,
like
I mean,
said,
Cena's pretty goddamn American. He's always doing that.
Nah, he's like half
doing
rapper,
the
half
salutes
American.
and-
But he's not. Excuse me. He's not like a redneck.
No, you're right.
No.
Heath Slater?
Nah, he's cool.
He just has a southern accent. He's not really a redneck.
He's the only actual southerner, as he mentioned the other
So
day.
we'll just go with Sarah Logan being the only one that wakes up at 5 in the morning to kill a fucking deer. So Logan, or crowd is hot on Mia Yim, by the way. Logan beats her ass a while, has her in an over-the-shoulder armbar, which looked less effective than just an actual armbar. Yim kicks the shit out of Sarah, puts her in the tarantula, shades of her trainer, Tajiri. Looks like they might screw up a guillotine choke
Haven't seen
spot.
that shit in forever.
It was kind of like a half tarantula, not a full tarantula. By the way, the tarantula on the list of moves that I think is stupid because you literally can only put it on for 5 seconds or get disqualified. So, I don't know. I just don't like moves like that.
Yeah, it's a lot of setup for a 5-second sub.
Yeah, if it's not a no DQ match, what's the point? So
It wears the opponent out. Is what it does.
I guess, but you can only put it...
For a 4 count, you gotta let go.
It wins you to put it on.
It's more than 5 seconds because they generally don't start the count right away.
True.
So.
True.
I suppose. So it looks like they might screw up a guillotine choke spot, but Logan saves it when she stays on her feet. It holds up Yim. And then Yim puts on the guillotine choke in the middle of the ring, so deep guillotine choke might win the match for her here, but Logan gets out of it. End of the match, Logan yells, "Off with her head!" Goes for a cartwheel knee drop on Yim's neck, but Mia moves well ahead of time, so Logan just kind of looked like a loser, just doing a knee drop on her own self. Completely missed her. Yim says, "No ma'am, off with your head." Then pops the Gail Kim, drops her with the Eat Defeat, and wins the match with an Eat Defeat, and will go on to face Shayna Baszler in the next round. I can't fucking wait for this match, because this is 2 tough women going at it. Mia Yim, awesome wrestler. I mean, I don't know if she's signed or whatever, but...
Probably not, since you didn't get a name.
Yeah, that's true.
Sarah Logan is the only experienced wrestler that got like a WWE name that didn't win.
I think Mia, it's going to be another Kota Ibushi, Zack Sabre situation. Mia goes really far, but doesn't win. But Mia needs to be in WWE because she's a phenomenal wrestler. I mean, for God's sake, she dated Eddie Kingston. If you don't date Eddie Kingston and don't be fucking tough as nails, there's something wrong with you. So that's that. And the end of episode 2. We have episode 3. We have Aisha Raymond. Once again, I just want to say I pray for Aisha Raymond against Toni fucking Storm. It was very clear, everybody, in case you didn't know, everyone loved Toni Storm because she's one of the best wrestlers or women's wrestlers on the face of the earth at the moment. So
that's the truth.
Yeah, that is the truth. Toni did some quote-unquote hip attacks.
She pops into Gucci.
So in case you guys didn't know this, when you hit someone with your ass, just call it a hip attack. So if someone touches you in the ass, just go, "Stop grabbing my hip." Kills Raymond, but Toni's momentum doesn't last very long when she runs into a big boot in the corner. Raymond beats her up, does a power slam. Storm does a backstabber in the corner. The crowd went, "Ooh." Hits a running knee, then a Northern Lights. And here's a really awkward part. And if you didn't catch this, then I'll explain it to you. She goes for a kip up, right? Really cool Shawn Michaels kip up. And it's extremely clear that she fucked it up because when she jumps up, they cut over, and she's already up. So I rewind this like 8 fucking times. They edited this shit. She did not do the kip up right away. So she fucked it up and then just kind of stood up, I guess.
Yeah.
So that's the post-editing in effect here for the Mae Young Classic. So in case you came here to see Toni Storm do a perfect kip up, sorry, not on this day.
Oops.
So Raymond looks to do a high spot. Instead, she feels her priorities, arguing with the crowd and going, "Why do you like her more?" When she goes for the splash, she misses Storm and rolls her up. She misses Storm, who's clearly on the mat, and then Toni rolls her up for the 3 count. And that's literally it. I mean, there was no big ending here.
Yeah, I felt like that finish was kind of weird.
Yeah, Aisha went up for a big splash, totally fucking missed her, and then Toni just rolled her up.
Yep.
And that was it. And makes Aisha Raymond look like a total tool bag here. Because the moments that she wasted before losing this match was arguing with the crowd. So we have Dakota Kai versus Kavita Devi. Say both those names.
Devi, not Devi.
Whatever. Devi. Kavita Devi. And, so basically the story here with Devi is that she was trained by none other than one of the best wrestlers of all time, the Great Khali.
Oh, man.
And she learned a lot of things from her teacher, like walking around, like being Indian. I don't know what else she could have learned from this guy. Other
Having
than,
huge hands.
posing to the hard cam, something. I don't know. The fact that she mentioned that in her promo package, I learned so much from my teacher. What did you learn from the Great Khali? How to not ride airplanes, I suppose. Devi worked the right arm of Kai very early. She did a lucha arm drag twice in this match. Definitely didn't get taught this by the Great Khali, because I doubt the Great Khali was teaching top rope arm drags, or lucha arm drags, I suppose. So Devi blocked a few drop kicks, then dropped her with a military press that got the crowd in her favor, kind of. They were like, ooh, a big Indian woman. What a nice military press. Devi threw her around the ring a few more times, and then Kai looked like a total jobber until Devi ran into the turnbuckle. A la Braun Strowman, just ran into some shit. She gets hit with a big running boot. Kai ran around the ring and then hit her with a big boot, and then kills her with a coup de grace, and that is like it. So basically, story here is that Kavita Devi just whipped her fucking ass, and then Dakota Kai hit a big boot, and then popped a fin and won the match. And that was it. So Dakota Kai moves on, as she should, because she's another one who got her name changed.
Yes.
So there goes the big first women's wrestler here in the WWE from India. Kaput with that shit.
I'm surprised, because, they're doing the whole, India push and all that. I figured maybe that she would last till at least another round.
Do you still watch SmackDown?
Occasionally, not.
I heard Jinder is
just
just thinking up the joint, and no one gives a fuck anymore.
No one. He's not even getting the heat that he used to.
People in India don't even care, dude. It's that bad.
Well, I just figured since that's the Dubs MO right now, if they would let the Indian chick, go a little further in the thing. But
no, of course not. Not over Dakota Kai.
No.
Hell no. She has pigtails.
Nah, you're right.
So we have the Shaman, Sage Beckett.
Yeah, what the hell was that?
Who the fuck okayed this shit? I mean, I'm guessing Triple H was like, what's your gimmick? A shaman? I don't give a fuck. You're losing.
Is she like a World of Warcraft shaman? Or what?
I have no fucking idea. I have no idea. But she was on NXT before Sage Beckett was, and she was saying how, but now I channel my inner witchcraft to win wrestling matches. You're wrestling, okay? You don't need to channel you don't need to channel the fucking, what's that stupid game board? Totally just forgot about it.
Oh, Ouija board.
Yeah, you don't need to channel the Ouija board.
Have a fucking seance in the middle of the ring.
You don't need to collect skulls to win wrestling matches. It's pretty fucking easy. You just beat the other person to death, and then you win the match. But anyways, that's Sage Beckett's fucking fucking gimmick here. No relation.
Are you gonna say
Yes,
Josh Beckett?
you son of a bitch. No relation to Josh Beckett, by the way. That piece of shit. So,
Game 6 of the 2003 World Series.
son of a bitch. Tagged out Jorge Posada. So, versus Bianca Belair, by the way. Belair no-sells. Belair was the one with the hair, right? She was the whipping hair chick. Okay.
By the way, if I got told that I had to sell that fucking hair
I'd be
whip,
fucking
I
mad.
would be pissed.
So let me get. This is Sage Beckett backstage. So you mean to tell me she's going to hit me with her fucking hair, and I'm going to sell it? They're like, well, yeah, that's kind of the thing. Well, fuck you, Paul. This sucks.
And she doesn't even grab it from the top and have it long, so you'd think it would be a legit whip. She does it at the end.
Hey,
yeah,
you want to know how you nerf? You want to know how you nerf that move? You cut her hair.
Yeah.
You snip that
hair versus
shit,
hair match,
and you throw it away. Or she just might buy some more. Who knows? So Belair no-sells a shoulder block early on.
Edgy, dude.
Super edgy.
Oh, give me a fucking break. That's kind of, it's obvious that it's bought anyways to begin with. So Beckett gets her ass beat a whole bunch. Bianca getting her shit in quite a bit. By the way, Beckett has a fucking six-pack. How do you feel about that? She's abs.
Good for her.
Toned.
She's an athlete.
So,
Especially since she used to be way bigger.
yeah. So Beckett cuts her off with a full Nelson Buster. Did I say Beckett got a six-pack?
Yeah. Did you mean
Bianca Belair. I'm
about-
sorry. I fucking
I'm about to
totally.
say,
Yeah,
I
no.
remember her having a six-pack.
You said big. I'm like, when was this woman
Yeah.
big ever? No, I'm sorry. Bianca Belair has a six-pack, by the way, in addition to the hair. So Beckett cuts her off with a full Nelson Buster. Sage goes on the offense, looks to try to put her away with a second rope senton splash, but does something that virtually no one should do, and do a full fucking taunt on the top of the rope. She just decided to hit the analog stick like she was playing N64, decided to do a whole bunch of posing, and decides to pose on the turnbuckle. Belair moves out of the way, uses her head to whip her right on her tits, then runs her over with a fucking spear, and that's like it. By the way, the hair gimmick, kind of lame. This spear was fucking amazing. I mean, she ran this chick over.
Yeah.
And it was awesome. Belair looks all right, I guess. We'll see how far she gets here, because she moves on to, I forgot what match. We'll get to the next matches on moving forward. But yeah, Bianca Belair takes out the Shaman. Who knew? A Shaman can't fucking win. So better go back and collect more skulls, I suppose. So we have a match that might be near and dear to Mr. Caruso's heart.
I was so torn in this match.
Santana Garrett versus Piper Niven, formerly Viper.
Yes.
And the thing I like about Piper Niven is the fact that, here's the thing.
That she's married to the international sex hero, DCT.
Sure.
You guys don't watch ICW, so
Nope,
you know
not
what
at
that
all. So basically, Piper Niven's whole deal is that obviously it's glaringly obvious that she's a larger woman, but that is her weapon, okay? Because in 2017, you have to be very careful when you talk about women's weight. You don't want to piss anybody off and have people rain down on you.
Unless you're Nia Jax, then they just announce it
they
every
just
time
do
she
that.
comes to the ring.
Well, I mean, technically, you were always supposed to be careful about talking about women's weight. That's always been like a thing.
Well, here's the thing. In wrestling, the bigger you are, the better you have a chance
Yeah.
of squashing a chick in the middle of the ring. So I don't think it's a big deal to be larger in wrestling. I just don't understand that. And not only that, but they don't say their weights. You know how guys get weight. I don't want my weight getting being said. Why do women not?
Unless you're Nia Jax, and then they
Unless
say
you're
it. They say it every time she comes down.
That is a 256 pound. Boy, is she fucking big.
They remind you every time she comes down. Weighing in at 272. Damn! Here comes Nia.
You know what? You know why I believe it's like they're supposed to make her a monster. She's supposed to feel like a. So you give her more weight, she is a monster. It's like, yeah, and her opponent, 96 pounds, soaking wet, Alexa Bliss.
Yeah.
I don't think it'd go too well, but when you announce a girl is massive, she could crush anybody. So Garrett works the left shoulder for a bit. By the way, Santana Garrett, I don't know, Anthony. I think I'm gonna steal her off of you. She is quite attractive woman.
Whoa, bro.
She was looking pretty good.
Dude, I've been down when she was totally trying to muffin smash with fucking Madison Rain.
Wow, muffin smash.
I don't know, Anthony. Here's the thing. I was born in Florida. She is from Ocala, LA. And I think, you know, you know exactly where that's from. And so we're both from Florida.
You mean the hometown of A Day to Remember?
Yes. We're both Floridians, so we both know what a good orange looks like. So I think, you know, me and her could go down there, get old together. This is going way off topic.
Fuck you, bro.
Hey, weren't you a Chelsea? Aren't you a Chelsea guy? In Chelsea and Santana? You're more of a Chelsea guy.
No.
Chelsea Grin, what?
No. Zack Ryder's the Chelsea guy.
Oh, yeah. He's totally a Chelsea guy now. So Garrett works the left shoulder for a bit. Crowd loves both women, and it's very hard not to love both of them because they're both awesome. Garrett does some stuff, stays on offense until Niven hits a cross body and fucking squashes this broad. Garrett gets her ass beat, tries to quicken the pace on Niven, but Niven's trying to keep it slow because the slower the match is, the better for her because she can just kind of work her over and squash her some more. But if Garrett gets the pace moving, she'll tire out Niven. That's the point here. So Santana does a great tornado DDT, then an eat defeat, but they not call it an eat defeat because when someone else does it, it's just, hey, cool move. Garrett does a fucking awesome handspring elbow off of the second rope, goes for a bulldog, but Niven, oh no, I'm sorry, that wasn't the end here. This was before the end. Handspring elbow into the corner, goes for a bulldog, but Niven counters, does another cross body, and crushes her, but only gets the two guys. I would love to see Piper Niven and fucking Killian Dane, like, just run right into the fucking, both of them right into each other.
I wonder if they have any matches on ICW together.
They would be a wonderful tag team together. They would fucking crush everybody.
Be some sumo shit at that point.
Hey, man.
I'm just saying, I'm just imagining the motion there. Just unstoppable force and the movable object.
I'd love to play them in like the fighting game version of NXT.
I'd love to play them on my offensive line.
Santana does a handstand head scissors off of the top turnbuckle. Niven kicks out of this, but the crowd went absolutely nuts for this spot. They're like, well, this is it right here. Santana Garrett's moving on, but nope. The woman known as Viper says, not today. Garrett tries to put her away, but Niven nails her with a Michinoku driver.
Should have called it the Piper driver since it's the Viper driver as Viper.
Well,
but
I don't know if Piper
nice
driver would go well. Hey, it's the Piper driver. Hits it with a Michinoku driver to knock off Santana Garrett here. So Santana Garrett packing her bags, going right down the block to Ocala, Florida.
that makes me so sad.
So Santana Garrett gets eliminated. So how do you feel about this, Anthony? As the resident Santana Garrett fanboy and Viper fan.
I was happy for Piper Niven. Really sad for Santana Garrett.
Well, she got a new name, so Piper's not gonna lose this match.
I knew she wasn't doing the job, but still, I'm still sad.
Yeah, it is sad to see.
I already had to see Kaylee Ray get eliminated. Now I have to see Santana get eliminated. It was
not a good day in the Caruso household here.
Tough pill to swallow.
Yep. So the final episode here, episode 4, started off with Candice LeRae versus Renee Michelle. And I did want to point out that Renee Michelle is extremely attractive and reminded me of a Washington Redskin. So
is that because she's partially Native American?
No, because she's from Washington, and it's clear that she had the whole gimmick of the Redskins.
Because she's partially Native American.
Oh, sure, I guess. But it's also a football team. This fucking guy. So, crowd starts a Candice wrestling chant. Fuck off, by the way. No.
Well, it would be Candice Sports Entertainment, but...
So, it's the first time I've ever heard that before. Welcome to NXT, everybody.
Well, you know, Gargano was there, cheer on and all that.
And then he went to the back afterwards. Then there's a dude in the crowd who yelled, "Pretend she's Tommaso."
Oh, I rewound that 3 times that I couldn't hear what the guy said. Yeah.
Yep, one in Renee Michelle. Pretend that Renee Michelle was Tommaso Ciampa for doing the dastardly deed of breaking up DIY.
What an asshole. Like, they even let him live in their house. Like,
what a scumbag.
What a fucking jerk off.
What a dickhead. So they do some mat wrestling for a bit. By the way, I would never have a guy living in the same house as me known as the Sicilian Psychopath.
Yes. Which I'm glad that, what's his face? Nigel McGuinness actually called him that on the last episode of NXT.
Yeah, don't ever, heads up everybody, don't let a man by the moniker of Sicilian Psychopath stay in your house. So they do some mat wrestling for a bit. LeRae hits a missile dropkick, works the left shoulder of Michelle. Doesn't do much here because Michelle goes in the offense. Does a modified neck breaker. LeRae fires up after a code breaker, starts running wild. Does a violence party in the corner.
I was upset that there was no Super Dragon chant.
Why the fuck would there be a Super Dragon chant here?
Because that always happens at PWG.
Oh, these people don't watch PWG. They have better things to do, like watch Kenny Omega versus Okada in English commentary. So I'm calling out this Full Sail crowd. Fuck them.
What does one have to do with the other?
What do you mean?
I like the English
PWG
commentary. What's wrong with that?
But why
Everyone
would
knows that the Japanese commentary is better.
Didn't we watch like all of G1, the English shows in English?
No, we watch most of it in Japanese.
But I'm talking about all the English shows.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a joke. I'm just trying to make fun of these assholes because they suck ass.
But I was saying that what does one have to do with the other as far as the watching Okada and Omega versus, compared to watching PWG? I'm sure most do both.
Because PWG is way too good for these people. They suck.
But so Okada and Omega isn't?
So she does a violence party.
I like Okada.
So she does a violence party in the fucking corner.
So you're telling me that the dudes that earn 2 6-star matches
aren't worthy of the PW? What does that even mean, sir? Defend yourself. Go ahead.
Well, PWG's, it's just something that not everyone can get into. Not especially this fucking Full Sail crowd with all these Bullet Club shirts. Okay, here in 2017, we've already stopped wearing those. We've moved on to the Tamatanga Club shirts and the Villain Club. By the way, if you own a Villain Club shirt, fuck you, because Marty's alright. He's an okay guy. I'm not buying his fucking shirt. By the way, another mini rant. Who the fuck put Adam Page's shirt in Hot Topic? Who the fuck?
Adam Page has a shirt? The fucking hangman?
It's the Bullet Club skull with a noose around
at
it.
Least Chase Owens' shirt isn't in Hot Topic.
They would really be fucking reaching.
Hangman Page has a fucking shirt.
Can you believe they had it
in a mainstream store?
They had a Bullet Club Q&A, right? They do these a couple. If you guys haven't seen it, I would recommend. They're fucking great. But anyways, someone tweeted to Matt Jackson and said, "When's the Adam Page shirt gonna come in?" And he's like, "Oh, well, Adam Page's shirt's going to be right in there. It's like select stores." And I went, who the fuck would ask this? Who the fuck? What?
Like, who's sitting at home jonesing for an Adam Page shirt?
I guess there's some Adam Page.
Who the fuck has assigned a photo, a 6x10 of Adam Page in the room?
Guy's a solid wrestler. He's
all right.
Not very interesting.
He's the Blastoise to Chase Owens' Squirtle. That's pretty much like it. Okay? And David Finley's whatever the hell, War Turtle. Who the fuck cares? Anyways, back to the relevant story.
Such a weird analogy.
So Candice LeRae does a violence party in the corner, and I remember saying, it's a violence party. And what does Lita call it? Oh man, look at that offense.
Thanks, Amy.
They don't call her dumbass for no reason. They go back and forth. LeRae props her up on the top turnbuckle, hits a super swinging neck breaker, which they called Mrs. LeRae's Wild Ride. Because calling it Mr. Toad's Wild Ride will get him fined.
Yeah,
big time.
they didn't even bill her for Mr. Toad's Wild Ride. I was so upset.
Oh, well, that presents a lot of issues in the copyright department.
Yeah.
Because Disney will rain down copyrights on them if they say that shit. Also, it should be Mrs. Gargano's Wild Ride. She's now married, so fuck you guys.
Well, she didn't take his last name.
You mean she Canellis them, bro?
Well, we needed to
Is
take
he
hers.
Johnny LeRae? That's a sweet name.
Johnny LeRae is a
That's
sweeter
fucking
NC name.
That is a very sexy name, an attractive name. So, LeRae wins, and that is it. Because if Candice LeRae didn't win this match, I was going to riot.
Yeah, Candice had to
Absolutely
win
no
this
way.
match.
So we have Taynara Conti versus Lacey Evans. I already knew what was going to happen here. I mean, they're so up Lacey Evans' ass right now that it is just apparent that she was going to win this match. But not against Taynara Conti, my low-key favorite in this matchup.
She looked good as hell, bro.
She is a very attractive woman.
Yes.
For two greenhorns, I thought this match was actually kind of solid.
She's green? Taynara, yeah, she's not exactly.
Yeah, no, this is like her first like television stuff.
You know what? Now
that wasn't being Andrade's like fucking entourage.
Oh, yeah, that's true. I should have known that she's green because, she came out in a full gi.
Yeah,
As if she was fucking Speedball Mike Bailey,
I
except
saw
Speedball
that-
can wrestle.
I was like, is she for real coming out in a legit fucking gi? Like,
All right,
Speaking of speedball, why wasn't Veda Scott in this fucking tournament?
because Veda Scott's too busy
Right.
getting her fucking mouth all bloodied up and some god-awful fucking promotion.
In
down-
AIW, probably.
Yeah, sure, whatever, man. But yeah, so here's the thing about gimmicks, okay? I guess maybe it's because I'm just older and maybe I've grown, but I just like a dude like Shibata, man. Fucking trunks,
The wrestler.
some kick fucking pads, and that's it. And you're going out there to crush someone. Do not come out like that's like me becoming a waiter, and that's my gimmick. And I'm gonna come to the ring in a full fucking outfit and then remove everything slowly while you watch. No, that's stupid. Gimmicks like this have like literally no purpose.
Unless you're
being on
Naito.
television. Unless you're Naito, but he's got to rip apart. So I mean, whatever. He can get it out pretty quickly.
But still, he's very deliberate with
Well,
taking that suit off.
I don't know, Naito, best wrestler, one of the best wrestlers in the
I mean,
world. I don't
Cesaro
know.
pulled it off pretty well when he started first doing the Bond thing, with his
All right, well,
breakaway
how about
pants.
this? How about this? Breakaway stuff's okay because it's easy to get off. But when she's wearing a fucking full gi to the ring with a black belt, give me a break, okay? I don't give a fuck. This isn't karate. You're not about to spar with your sensei. You're about to fight another woman for a tournament. Give me a fucking break. So Lacey does some submission stuff and tries to stretch Conti. By the way, crowd goes, USA. We get it. She's American. Yeah, we know, guys. So she gets caught off with a judo throw by Taynara, who tried to get something going. But not too long after, Evans goes on the offense, does a bunch of wacky stuff that was like mostly fluff. I mean, a bunch of lucha shit, like a bunch of stuff that had absolutely no impact. It was just lucha shit. You know what I mean. Hits a strong zero on Conti, and that's it. So
Don't you mean a crunchy?
a strong zero.
There was no assistance. It's just a crunchy, bro.
Oh, dude, it's a fucking strong zero, in my opinion. Okay? So that's it. And Lacey Evans wins this match and disposes of the judo expert. So the judo expert didn't do so well in this wrestling match. What a fucking shocker. Lacey Evans, I do predict that they're going to go far with her in this tournament. They kind of, like, have to. Because they're just promoting her. And, hey, did you know she has a daughter? So she's going to go far in this tournament. If you've got kids and you wrestle in
And need this job.
and Triple H finds out, he'll push the shit out of you. You have kids? Fuck, be in the main event tomorrow, please.
Ask Roddy.
Yeah. Roddy's like, hey,
He wasn't
listen,
doing shit till he cranked one out.
getting that chick pregnant was the best thing that ever happened to him.
It's got a sweet storyline.
This
and
whole
everything.
gimmick now.
Making the baby was just the whole storyline. It was just
Roddy could be
It
boring
was just
you.
all build.
yeah.
Roddy could be boring you with a fucking awful promo, but once he goes, but my kids, everyone's like, I know kids, and they're just right away.
Right.
I've seen a kid before. So yeah, Lacey Evans moves on here. Nicole Savoy versus Reina Gonzalez. Reina Gonzalez, a daughter of a jobber in the old NWA days, and Nicole Savoy, a seasoned wrestler. Oh no, was she an MMA chick or Nicole?
No, she's part of the whole Shayna
Okay,
Baszler.
all right, so she's an actual wrestler
Shayna
here.
Baszler, Punishment Martinez, the girl.
Punishment Martinez.
Mercedes Martinez.
So
They're a crew, Click and Shimmer.
Gonzalez opts to wrestle with a eye patch on. Why the fuck would you wrestle with an eye patch on? It's not going to help you at all in this ring. Whatever. Not much is going on. Reina is just asserting her dominance because she's 6 foot tall, so she's a massive woman wrestling in assless chaps.
I didn't, and I still don't get her fucking gimmick. Like, I don't get it.
I
don't get the hat. I don't get the fucking mask.
So, a bull rider? I don't know.
Like, it's not even like a full-on
one-eyed
cowboy
bull
hat,
rider.
though. It's like an Indiana Jones hat. Like, it's not even... I don't know. I don't know what the fuck this bitch is doing, man.
The best part about her gimmick was that Lita said, "So, Jim, what do you think about that copyright infringement?" And he's like, "Well, I'm okay, because I'm horny." That was it. That was his take on the whole situation. That's pretty much what he said. I mean, JR was on a roll, and this whole tournament, he's like, "Wow, she looks great. I would definitely pork her." That was his whole MO in this whole tournament, dude. I can't even, like... I'm not even making that up. So, Reina, like I said, asserting her dominance because she's massive. Moves around like Kevin Nash. Savoy can't really do too much. Gonzalez just tried to bully her around until she puts her up on her shoulders for a move. Savoy counters it into an arm bar. Can't fully get it locked in because Gonzalez has both of her hands clutched together. But eventually, she just lets go and gets her in the arm bar fully. And that is it. Reina Gonzalez taps out and Nicole Savoy gets the win. And that's literally it. So Reina Gonzalez moved around like Kevin Nash and lost the match. Pretty much a summary here. So we have the final match of this 4-episode binge fest here. Kairi Sane versus Tessa Blanchard, and this was a legitimate main event.
Yes,
I mean,
this is the match of the tournament, yeah.
4-episode main event, literally. Out of all the matches we saw, this was the best match.
Word.
So Kairi's big gimmick here is that she's a pirate, and Tessa's gimmick is that she's
a yachtsman to be.
She's a yachtsman. I'm sorry.
And I like how Jim Ross pointed it out. He's like, yeah, she likes boats. In case you were wondering, we're all like, thanks, Jim. Appreciate it.
Real quick before we get into the match, the commentary was just like all right. I mean, there was nothing to brag about with both of these, like with Lita and JR. I mean, it was mostly Lita going, "What a move!"
Yeah.
And JR was mostly like, "I'd tap that." And that was
much.
kind of all it was. I mean, they weren't terrible. Like, they weren't really, really bad or anything like that. It was just like...
better than the G1 shows with Barnett and Ross.
Oh my god, yes. Like 10 times. I'd rather have Jim Ross talking about how he's going to bang a chick later on than have him go, "Which one of Los Ingobernables is that? Is that Kushida?" So it was way better, but it was just like really awkward. Alita was really awkward at some point. She had no idea what to say half the time. It was just like I said, "Oh, she once wrestled." Yes, I did see that once. And JR was just a horny dude. So other than that, we have Kairi Sane, Tessa Blanchard. Tessa's gimmick is that she was once conceived by a famous wrestler, also known as Tully Blanchard, formerly of the Four Horsemen. And fun fact for everyone out there, she is the daughter of Tully Blanchard, but she was raised by Magnum TA. So if you don't understand this, Tully Blanchard got her mother pregnant. Then they divorced. Then she fucked another wrestler, which became her father, her actual father, and raised her.
Well, her stepfather.
Her stepfather.
Tully's her actual father, biologically.
But now that she's a wrestler and he's a Hall of Famer, it's like, "Oh, Tully, your daughter and you must have a good..." Nope, that motherfucker didn't raise me half the time. It was Magnum TA. But
well, I'm sure he was involved in her life.
Well, but Magnum was mostly involved. It was mostly
because
his daughter.
lived with her mother. But I'm sure it's not like Tully wasn't.
Well, when they say that it's Tully Blanchard's daughter, it's like, well, he must have raised her to become a great athlete. But it was really Magnum TA.
You say that like you have like firsthand experience.
We're not calling Tully a deadbeat or
basically
nothing.
said it. Well, no, we're not calling Tully a deadbeat. I mean, he had his issues with drugs and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But it was like, but I don't want to like, it wasn't like Charlotte, like where her father was. Rick was there pretty much. Well, not most of the time, but whatever. We don't know them personally, so it's not my place to go too into it. But anyways, match starts off with of all things, a test of strength. So, which is extremely rare these days, especially with women. So Kairi hits a great blockbuster, but Blanchard doesn't let her take advantage of this. Forearms the living shit out of her. Sane then spears the shit out of her to fire up, hits a flying forearm. Lita thought she was going to go for the elbow drop. Goes, "Here she goes!" And then just dropped in a fucking forearm. It's like, oh, Yep, you can't drop an elbow on someone who's standing, Lita. So Tessa takes over, beats her up with a backdrop, or beats her up, then gives her a backdrop, give her some time to give her some strikes against the ropes here. Blanchard goes up top, hits a senton splash, but only gets a 2 count. And when she did the senton splash, okay, by the way, she packaged the shit out of the senton. She leaped up in the fucking air and just did a full cannonball on this chick. And so here's my question. She drops it on her, but she doesn't fully hit her. Then they go, well, she didn't get all of it, so that's what cost her the match. But she could have just fucked up. And it was supposed to hit her square on. But they go, well, she clearly screwed that spot up, but we're going to just say that, that was the reason why she lost this match. So that was the key to her losing this match, is the fact that she didn't do the senton splash right. So they go back and forth for a bit. Sane drops it with an Alabama slam to set up the elbow drop. And usually these days in wrestling, if you take like 3 years to set up a finisher, you're going to pay for it and lose the match or get rolled up or anything like that. But they give Kairi Sane like 10 minutes to let us know that she's going to drop the elbow. She goes like this, elbow? The crowd goes, yep, we'll take some of that. Gets up on the top rope and goes, elbow? They're like, yes, the fucking elbow, please. So she drops it, and it's as glorious as you can imagine.
What happened to her not being allowed to use that move?
I don't know. They realized that Bayley fucking sucks, and no one cares anymore.
Yeah.
So
At some point, they did announce that they're going to let her use it. I guess there was enough pushback from the internets.
Yeah.
Or Triple H was on the phone going, listen, Vince, if you don't give me this elbow, I'm going to never give you someone to ruin again. Vince is like, oh, gonna need some more 205 Live guys, Paul. You got it. Have the elbow, my friend.
Enzo Amore's just don't grow on trees or nothing.
What happened? By the way, what happened to Enzo, man?
He's going to 205 Live.
He's going to
My
205.
God,
Yeah.
what a fucking fall from grace that guy's had. And you know what? It's deserving because he fucking sucks.
Because he can't believably beat anybody like on the main show, so,
Cass
you
got
might as
hurt.
well.
Cass fucking popped the fucking Kevin Nash, tore his whole shit up in his quad, so that's the end of him. So, yeah. That's it, everybody. Got to get more female Enzos up in here. So that's that. Kairi Sane wins the match, and did you expect anything less from Tessa Blanchard and Kairi Sane? And then afterwards, Tessa gives
Tessa
her a
was even
hug.
better than I remember watching her. She looked really good in this match.
Here's the thing, because I've
She also looked really tan in this match.
Yeah, she was tan as fuck.
seen Tessa in Stardom, obviously.
Yeah.
And in Stardom, you've got Santana Garrett, you've got Tessa Blanchard, you've got a bunch of Gaijin girls who are very great. But compared to Io, Kairi, Mayu, even Kagetsu, okay?
Yeah.
Some of the lower tier women, they're just okay. Compared to the Japanese women, they're alright. But here in America, they're the shit. Because, of course, they have that training with the Japanese women. So, that's pretty much why Tessa looked like a star here compared to, I don't know, Marty fucking Bell, who really stunk up the joint. But anyways, Tessa gives her a big old hug, and they embrace it. And then Kairi moves on. And if you don't know by now, Kairi's probably going to win this fucking tournament. I mean, it's kind of obvious.
This is just a big promotion for
one big 12 or fucking 16 woman or whatever. How many?
32 women. Yeah.
32 women promotion for Kairi Sane's big moment where she takes the NXT Women's title. Because they're probably going to give it to someone who wins this tournament.
Yeah, no, especially I think the Asuka injury was kind of a blessing in
Rigged? Are you telling me it was made up and was supposed to happen?
No, I was just going to say it was a blessing in disguise because now they can write Asuka out. They don't have to have her lose it.
That is true.
They can just call her up and then just...
And then she'll lose on the main roster right away.
And that works out because it keeps her strong. You know, she doesn't actually have to lose the title.
Yeah, it's perfect.
No. I think you guys have got this all wrong. She gets called up to Raw, loses in the first match to, I don't know, Emma via package pin, and that is it. There goes your big streak for Asuka.
That'd be quite the way to blow the streak.
Or they just bring her up and turn her into Goldberg and run through literally everybody and then get tased and lose her first match. So that's that, everybody. The first 4 nights in the books here. So we have round 2 matchups. We have Abby Lath and Rachel Evers. Should be a wonderful match. 2 former Shimmer competitors. Princessa Suhei versus Mercedes Martinez. Nicole Savoy and Candice LeRae. Mia Yim versus Shayna Baszler, which is my favorite at the moment. That's my main event. Kairi Sane and Bianca Belair. Kaidi's
Yeah.
probably going to wash the floor with her, or Bianca's going to make her look bad, whatever. Dakota Kai versus Rhea Ripley. You know what? I'm going to be the first to say it. I know there's a lot of beautiful women in this tournament, but I think Rhea Ripley is exceptionally beautiful woman. She looks kind of like Noelle Foley. A little better than Noelle Foley. Actually,
No
a
way,
little better
man.
than Noelle Foley.
Oh, whoa, dude.
That's
Ooh, you better take that pie out of the oven because it's hot, my friend.
I don't know, man. That's a bold statement, sir.
You might have to
I'm sorry.
see an optometrist.
No. I think Rhea Ripley is a little more attractive than Noelle Foley.
She's cute, but I would not
Yeah.
go.
No,
That's quite the vote of confidence,
I'm
sir.
going full heel, my friend. I'm going full heel.
Noelle
here.
Foley's like top of the pyramid, dog.
Yeah, for sure.
Top of the pyramid. Are you smoking something, my
She's
friend?
the top of my
Are
pyramid.
you smoking
dog.
the devil's lettuce? Because that is certainly not a fact.
No, sir.
You're a good Christian boy.
The devil's lettuce. Jesus Christ.
So Dakota Kai, Rhea Ripley, two great athletes, but I'm thinking Kai's gonna win that one. Serena Deeb and Piper Niven should be a good one. Very good wrestlers, and Deeb being a veteran and Niven being wonderful. And we have Lacey Evans versus Toni Storm. And here's the one that I'm iffy on here because I really don't want Toni to lose.
Yeah, but I think they want one of their girls to go, and I don't think they're gonna put Belair over.
Not at
Kairi
all.
Sane.
Not over Kairi Sane and Toni. Toni's probably gonna bite dust here because there's no way
she doesn't have a
Lacey
name,
Evans-
so she's not signed.
Tony just got a big old butt, and that's it. So that's the end of that. And so sadly, Tony might kick the bucket here. But aside from that, so that's the first 4 matches or the first 4 nights of the Mae Young Classic. We have 4 more episodes.
4 more episodes
coming
to
up on
go.
Monday. And overall, gentlemen, what do you think of the first 4 nights? What do you think of the wrestling, the feel of it all? I suppose
This was nice, and I'm hoping that they'll be able to do this again. You know, it's probably not going to be like an annual thing, but like we were saying earlier, maybe like biannual or
Maybe.
something. This is pretty
well,
sweet.
they didn't do another Cruiserweight Classic, so
Yeah, well, who knows? But I so far I give it a B- so far.
B-.
Yeah,
My only issue with this tournament is that there's more green. This is obviously the first round. So the first round was basically just
it'll be a lot more
advancing.
cleaned up as it goes on.
Oh, yeah.
And there'll be more match time. There'll be more to these matches.
And a lot of people are basing
sure.
their opinion off of the first 4 episodes. But it's extremely difficult to base it off when you're basically just giving a platform, a catapult for all the experienced women to move on to the next round by putting them in with green women.
I wish they didn't use so many. I mean, especially if they weren't going to win matches, they should have used more experienced women wrestlers out there. They're out there to be had. Like they could have.
Well, you got to give some of these women some sort of experience, I guess. And what better way to put them on television against a way better wrestler?
Yeah, true.
Jesus, I mean, Lita even said it. She said, I think it was the Zeta match, or the not the other one, the Xia Li match, right? And Lita goes, well, or JR's like, when was your first match, Lita? Certainly not on fucking TV, JR. Yep, that says it all. So your first match is on television against Xia Li took on who? Mercedes Martinez? Good luck. Pat on the back to Xia Li. But other than that, it was fine. Nothing too crazy. Obviously, Marty Bell and fucking Rachel Ellering was just the shits. And Marty Bell sucks. And she's pretty much the only glaring, awful fucking person in this tournament. Other than that, everyone else did all right. The girls that were new did okay. But other than that, everything was okay. So we'll move on to the next round, and we'll see you all next week for another edition of... Oh, Tyson will be here once again.
Indeed.
So, signing off for all 3 of us. Take care, everybody.